What if I told you that 2 years ago, I was doing all of the bad habits times 10? Video games, lust, no websites, junk food. Name a bad habit, I was doing it. But now my life looks very, very different. And as much as I would love to sit here and tell you that I'm super disciplined and that I work really hard and all that stuff, I don't. Truthfully, I just love the good habits now. Hypnotic rhythm is simply the process of entering a state of unconscious rhythm where your body is in autopilot. There's this great example of a PT that was helping a 300-pound person. He took her into the gym. They walked into the reception, then they walked into the gym, then they walked back out. And the person was like, what were you doing? I thought we was going to train. He said, no. She was confused. She was like, what's going on? All right, cool. I'll see you tomorrow. Then tomorrow, what did she do? She turned up. The PT's like, all right, you ready, Lucy? Right, we'll go in. And then he'd walk her around the gym. They still haven't lifted any weight. They haven't done anything. And then he would walk her around. They'd have a look at like the weights and whatnot. And then, right, and then Lucy was like, what, are we not? She started to get to the point where she's like, but I want to do something, building up the desire. You'll see where this is going. And then after a week or two, she got to the point where they went in the gym and they actually done an exercise. And it went from 1 exercise to 2 exercises. And then the next week, they done 3 exercises. Then the week after, they done 4 exercises. Over the time period of like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, what had happened is Lucy, this 300-pound woman, had created new neurological pathways through neuroplasticity. She had created hypnotic rhythm to the point where her identity had completely changed from old Lucy, who was unhealthy, eating junk food and didn't want to go to the gym, to this new Lucy who absolutely loved the gym. It's the exact same person with 2 different states of hypnotic rhythm. Old Lucy's hypnotic rhythm was junk food, not going to the gym, and being an unhealthy person. New Lucy was, I love going to the gym. I love looking after my body. I'm a healthy person. Lucy is the exact same person. So what changed? She entered hypnotic rhythm. It's not hard for Lucy to go gym anymore. She's not using discipline. She's not using willpower. She's not using hard work. It's part of her identity. Now, the premise of this video is how to enter hypnotic rhythm. Now, let's break up these 2 words. Hypnosis, a state of focused attention and increased suggestibility. You ever heard of somebody getting hypnotized? These things actually work. I wouldn't suggest it, but it works. But this is self-hypnosis and getting us to focus and get into a rhythm with the things that we want to do. The second one, rhythm. A repeated pattern of flow. And our body wants to enter a state of flow. Our body is crying out for a state of flow. Think about your favorite song right now. Why is it your favorite song? Because the rhythm and the flow. Think about the greatest hits of all time. What happens? You know the next beat that's coming, you know the next lyric that's coming, and it automates, it flows. Our habits are no different to our favorite song. In order to create hypnotic rhythm, we need to know how to create habits. And in order to create habits, we need to do them gradually and slowly. Now, a great example of this, if you're waking up at 12 p.m. at the moment in the middle of the day and you want to be somebody that gets up at 5 a.m., don't go from waking up at 12 p.m. to waking up at 5 a.m. the next day, because that will create such a shock on your nervous system that your body will always want to come back to equilibrium. It will be like, what's going on? Get us back, get us back, get us back. That's why waking up at that time will feel so horrendous. Now, how do we go from waking up late to waking up early in the morning? This is just an example, and you can extrapolate this over to all the other habits, which I'm going to get onto in a minute. So something that I've been doing throughout the last 2 weeks, I wanted to move my waking up time from 7:30 a.m. till 5:30 a.m. Now, I didn't go from one night to the next night of changing it completely. What I've done is I set an alarm 10 minutes earlier every single night. So I went from 7:30 to 7:20 to 7:10 to 7 to, and it got to the point where I was at 5:30 a.m. And then that morning when I woke up at 5:30 a.m., my body is not in shock. What you're doing by doing things gradually is you're removing the friction for your body to go back to what it knows best. Your body, your nervous system will always try to go back to equilibrium. And that is the part of the thing that stops us from creating hypnotic rhythm in our habits. How do you extrapolate that over to training? How do you extrapolate that over to the gym? Now, if you are going to the gym and you've just started, or you're trying to get in shape, don't promise that you're going to go 5 times out of 7 days. It's not going to happen. And if you do, you'll keep it up for 2 weeks. But what does the body want to do? Come back to equilibrium, which means it will come back to the point it knows best. And if you are somebody previously that wasn't going at all or going once a week, that's exactly what you go back to. Why? Because what you was doing previously is your previous hypnotic rhythm. So it's about creating new hypnotic rhythm gradually and slowly. Remember that hypnotic rhythm is simply a pattern and build up of actions to the point they become second nature. No difference to brushing your teeth. Why do we brush our teeth every morning and every night? Why do we not forget to brush our teeth? Why does it feel effortless and easy? Well, you've been doing it for 20, 30 years, however old you are. You've been doing it for that amount of years. Your parents every night, remember to brush your teeth, remember to brush your teeth, remember to brush your teeth. Now, you're in a state of hypnotic rhythm of brushing your teeth. Now, this is the exact same state that you can enter when it comes to the good habits. If you're somebody that wants to read a book, don't try read it in a week. How do you become addicted to reading? You wake up and you open the book and you read a line. If you're not reading, I promise you, if you're somebody that doesn't like reading, I was exactly like this. I hated reading, absolutely hated it. And I've read over 50 books in the last year and a half. Not because I like reading, but because I've built up hypnotic rhythm. Now, well, how do you build it up with reading? Well, wake up and open the book. I promise you, read a sentence and put the book down. The next day, open the book, read a sentence and a half and put the book down. Every day, read like a sentence more. And you will get to the point over 2-3 weeks where you've built up hypnotic rhythm by doing the action multiple times consistently to the point where now reading is like brushing your teeth. The person you look at in the gym that's got the incredible physique, understand that they are not disciplined. They would love to tell you they're disciplined. And there's moments where they have to demonstrate discipline. Don't get it twisted. However, I would love to sit here and tell you I'm a super disciplined person and I try really hard and I willpower and all of that stuff. However, I would be lying to you. It's not discipline anymore. I used to wake up and want to click on no website straight away. I used to wake up and want to scroll my phone, or I used to wake up and want to eat junk food straight away. But I just don't anymore. I wake up, I don't want to do those things anymore. And this is the process of hypnotic rhythm. And this is how you change your habits. This is how you become consistent to the point where people believe you're a robot. The amount of people that ask me how I'm disciplined and how I'm consistent and whatnot. And whenever people ask me how I'm super consistent and disciplined with training and all of these good habits, sometimes I stand there and I'm like, because I don't know what to tell you. I wish more people that were like this were honest about this stuff. But the reason why they're not is because it makes you look a little less cool. It's nice to say I'm super disciplined. As I said, it would be great for me to sit here and say I'm super disciplined, but I'm not. Now, there is times where you have to exercise discipline. However, building up the law of hypnotic rhythm is about making those good habits second nature, like brushing your teeth, so that they're not difficult and in fact, you actually look forward to them. Now, a practical step. Break down the habit. Whatever habit it is you want to start in your mind right now, break it down so that it would be so easy that you can definitely do it. For example, if you want to go to the gym, you want to make gym a regular practice, you want to be somebody that's in great shape, training 5-6 times a week. If you want to be that person, you can be a lot sooner than you think. However, it's not going to happen overnight. And what I would say is this is where I went wrong time after time after time. I would wake up and decide I'm going to change my life tomorrow. And then I would stick to it for like 2 weeks. And then I would go back and I'd be like, oh, crap. And I'd start eating my Snickers bar, stop going gym and start scrolling on social media and going on dirty websites. I'm being as honest as I can with you because this is the reality. You're not going to change your habits overnight. But you can build up hypnotic rhythm so that you become robotically consistent with the habits that you want to do. The negative of hypnotic rhythm is going out with your friends all of the time, drinking and eating rubbish food. The negative of hypnotic rhythm is the everyday ordering pizza and ordering junk food and eating all of that stuff. The negative of hypnotic rhythm is going on your phone and clicking on that no website that you shouldn't be on. That is a state of hypnotic rhythm. However, the other state of hypnotic rhythm is waking up and wanting to go on a 10K. The other state of hypnotic rhythm is waking up and desiring eggs and desiring whole foods that are going to get you in the best shape of your life. Now, don't get me wrong, you have to do discipline at the start. However, break them down to the point where they're effortless and almost easy. I used to hate reading. And over the last 2 years, I've read over 50 plus books and I read every day. Not because I super enjoy reading anymore, but because when I started reading, I would wake up, I promise you, I'd open that book, whatever book it was, when I first started reading, and I would read half of a page, and I would put the book down, done. Next day, half of a page, or 3/4 of a page, done. Then next day, I'd read the whole page, done. Now, if you can do this for 2-3 weeks, watch how your life changes. Watch how you become addicted to these good habits. Because you're building up these neurological pathways, it's that version of you that doesn't wake up on time, that doesn't go to the gym, that doesn't read books, that doesn't do any of these things. You have neural pathways that are stuck in these habits. Now, the process of hypnotic rhythm is literally creating new pathways through what is called neuroplasticity. Now, if you scan the brain, you literally see the brain change from somebody that does their old habits to somebody that does their new habits. In order to create habits, break them down really, really small to the point where you feel like an idiot. Open that book and read a sentence and close it. The next day, do the same thing. Entering hypnotic rhythm is the only way that the good habits will stick. Without hypnotic rhythm, you can try to be disciplined, but it will last a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month if you're lucky. But after that, it will fall off. With hypnotic rhythm, you can do good habits for the rest of your life and you won't fall off because you love them and it will be enjoyable. Breakdown. Sorry if it got a bit sciencey. I'm getting a whiteboard. I've actually ordered a whiteboard, big whiteboard. I'm gonna do some breakdowns and stuff, and some like nutrition and training and all of that jazz. But in the meantime, until I see you then, I'll see you in a bit. Blessings.